That one's pretty easy. I'm a musician and an aspiring writer, and I'm unemployed. Recently moved back to Portland. I'm broke, and 2 years ago I dropped out of college because I felt like I was wasting both my time and my money investing into a system which I saw back then wasn't going to be providing the returns that were promised to me. And promises are easy to break, especially when it's a structural problem, but I find myself in a situation where my future is dubious at best, unless I do something about it. Currently my family is facing the threat of financial collapse. I don't believe there's any equity in our house at all. My dad was recently in an accident that left him paraplegic, so things are tentative, and I'm living in a tent in the park, and it feels appropriate because I'm literally on the verge of actually being homeless. So I find myself here trying to contribute my story. I've been thinking a lot about this, and aside from a wide variety of policy changes and regulations that have been repealed over the years, Glass-Steagall for example, I would like to see a kind of philosophic shift where people become more open with their neighbors, less fixated on the various forms of media that are feeding them the narrative that they're supposed to believe. I think that people need to realize that hoarding wealth only leads to structural collapse. And I was just writing for a moment before I came over here, and I think the analogy that I'd like to use is of playing the game Jenga. And you can only pull out so many foundational pieces and continue to build the structure taller before you reach a kind of tipping point and the whole structure collapses. And I feel like that's where I find myself in the late capitalist hierarchy. So I'd like to see people essentially wake up to that reality, realize that we can't do it alone, and putting a bunch of your money in a bank account isn't going to save you if things collapse. So maybe that's a little bit extreme, but it's true.